Today, I'm vindictively redesigning the resident portal for the apartment complex where I live. I don't have to visit this site often, but when I do, it gives me the heebie-jeebies because I don't really know where I'm supposed to go for anything, and there seems to be about 50 links that are completely unnecessary. So as always, we've got the style guide here. Nothing crazy. They are actually using Inter, so hats off to them. We're going to stick with that. And we're going to build these stories out, a subset of what currently exists on the site. These are the things that I genuinely do need to do with the resident portal. See where my rent is due, request maintenance, all the basic stuff. We're going to get stuck in and see what we come up with. The main problem with this UI was that there were lots of different navigation elements with really inconsistent placements throughout the whole experience. So what we're going to do is make sure that everything is much more clear, starting with the primary navigation. We're going to keep it on the left because that heuristic makes sense and there's a lot of affordance with placing navigation on the left. But then we're going to take all of the secondary navigations, standardize them as a header tab navigation, and then maintain a separate list of quick actions so we're not totally overwhelming the user. Now, for those of you that rent apartments, what's the number one reason why you would ever want to log into your resident portal? Almost certainly to make a payment. So making sure that there is a bright blue call to action in the header that's persistent and lets people complete that task wherever they are in the UI. Here we're creating space for the secondary tab navigation, and I'm a big fan of this design pattern. Whenever I need a primary-secondary navigation relationship, I always default to a primary left-hand navigation with some tabs on the actual content body itself. It sends a very clear signal to the user, hey, this is the main navigation, and then if you want to fine-tune the navigation, you can use these tabs. Putting my head back inside the mind of a renter using a portal like this, one of the first things I want to see is if I have any kind of pending balance so I can resolve that immediately. And the existing UI actually does this well, just showcasing exactly how much is still currently pending and then showing you a nice little breakdown of those costs. The only distinction we're making here is by default we're showing the breakdown of the costs because really that is important information and it's not really necessary to gate it behind a separate click, especially given that it's only one of two things we're showing on this dashboard. Trying to persist these quick actions here because it feels like a really easy way to cut through the noise of the UI and go straight to the thing I want to do. But in the existing UI, they place the quick actions below the main body content, which creates an interesting design conundrum where I'm constrained in such a way that I can't put too much content above those quick links lest they disappear below the fold. So instead, we're placing them to the right of the content, and later in the redesign, I actually make them persistent throughout the entire UI and dismissible so that users can always complete these really simple tasks regardless of where they are in the product. Spent quite a while fiddling around with the logo in the sidebar here to make it visually aligned, and then ended up just throwing it out completely because really from the user's perspective, I know what apartment complex I live in. I don't need to see the logo. Instead, we're going to place it in the footer of the navigation and replace it with an apartment switcher. This will allow people that work for the apartment complex to switch between various apartments if they do want to maybe update a maintenance request on various different people's homes at the same time. And here we are, persisting the quick actions off to the right and making them part of the core UI so that regardless of where you are in the UI, you can complete these quick actions immediately. I feel like this is a really quick and dirty way of simplifying a very complicated information architecture. Instead of forcing users to dig through various levels of navigation to find the thing they're looking for, you just float all the commonly requested activities to the top and just place them in the UI. Okay, there we go. I get the impression that this is a resident portal that would be a delight to use. Now, obviously, I'm a bit partial here, but the biggest win here is that all of the navigation elements, all 4 of them, have been reorganized in a way that they don't conflict with each other and they're all in a consistent place. We've got the primary navigation over here, which clearly controls the entire space. Secondary navigation with some breadcrumbs to help you identify where you are if you're very deep in the UI. And then we've got some persistent quick actions, the things that people will almost certainly want to do every time they come to the portal, that just stick there regardless of the view that you're currently inspecting. Additionally, when you look at this dashboard, the first thing that pops out to you is right here, the upcoming payment, the payment that's going to be withdrawn on August 1st. That's important to me. I need to know that everything's in order and that autopay is scheduled for that month. And then from there, I can see things like payment history. Maybe I could even have like announcements down here. But the important information bubbles to the top, and that's what good information hierarchy is all about. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this one. Hope you took at least a little nugget of design insight from this. Hope you're having a great week. See you in the next one. Bye.